Going forward, though, what do you think needs to happen for midweek, firstly, and then leading into the weekend against the Spurs? I'll head over to you there, Tina.
Um, I'm kind of into two minds at present. Yes, we have to spend. We have to do something in January because, as I've seen a couple of comments in the chat, it's we're relegation form right now. Let's be realistic. We are in the league. We are atrocious. We are not doing well enough. And we need to change something, whether it be tactically or player wise, that we need to bring someone in to change things up. There's a lot of different things we could do. I think we definitely shot ourselves in the foot in terms of transfer wise in the summer. We know Jurgen Klopp likes to play with a relatively small squad. That's back to his days at Dortmund and now at Liverpool. It's a regular thing.
Does that need to change now with five subs? I always go back to this. With five subs, we should be stocked just to be able to run teams through the ground.
Yes, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. We need to have more bodies, especially because of the injury-prone nature of basically our entire midfield. Let's be realistic. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain can't play a single game a season. Naby Keita isn't good enough and can't play more than 2 games a season. Jordan Henderson consistently picks up little niggly injuries, as does Thiago, who was arguably, there's no debate about it. He is without a shadow of a doubt our most influential, our best midfielder and our most creative midfielder we have. And when we lose him, our midfield is atrocious. Let's be brutally honest about it. Our midfield without Thiago is simply not good enough. Fabinho looks absolutely shattered. He looks absolutely shattered. And yes, so bringing in more players in that midfield and not relying on James Milner, who, fair enough, have him in and around the squad, play him in cup games and Champions League games when we're comfortably through, or bring him on for the last 20 minutes or so of a game when you're trying to rest legs, fair enough. But James Milner should not be starting week in, week out. Jordan Henderson, for me, isn't good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club, at least in his present form. So we need to realise that, and Jurgen Klopp and the club need to realise that if we don't change something soon, this is going to go drastically downhill, because it took us 30 years to win a league title because of similar mistakes, letting players get too old, not investing properly. And when we did invest properly, it was one or two things here and there. It's frustrating, because when you've got clubs like Manchester City, Chelsea of late, Newcastle United now, and Manchester United, who are consistently ploughing in, and going forward will be ploughing in hundreds of millions every single year without selling players, you're going to get left behind. And FSG and Klopp and the club need to wake up to that fact and need to realise that.
So, Kev, do you think the FSG and the Liverpool's management need to change a little bit their philosophy as far as building a team?
Something has to give. I'm at the point now with FSG that I think they haven't really. I think they've been naive. I don't think they've understood how big this club is and how much commercial market this club is currently bringing in. Look at when they brought us for 300 million. That's now gone into the billions straight away, and it's already into the 4 billions. They're at a point now where we're probably their biggest asset globally than any of the Red Sox or anything like that, probably the Red Sox, probably because of their history and all like that. But you look at this club, they've had to go into Bluebird, that Redbird or whatever it is. They've come in and have bought a portion of FSG. They're now part of the makeup. Something has to. I think we're too big for FSG. I think we need something else other than what FSG can give us. We've gone through this naivety of let's just sell what we make, and it's a great model. But at the minute, we need something different and something dynamic that can actually make. Now, I don't know what that is, and I'm not saying that the grass is always greener by bringing in someone like a Booley who's at Chelsea, and we start spending all like that. I don't want that kind of attitude with our money. We need to we commercially bring in as much similar to what Man United do at the minute, and that's took us 30 odd years just to get up and meet up with their kind of commercial standards. We need something to change. We need a new way of a new mold going forward. If Klopp continues with this kind of Gegen style rock kind of playing,
heavy metal football.
Yeah, heavy metal football. There we go. If he wants to continue with that, he has to bring the average age down in this squad, because at the minute we are the third highest in the league for our age, and it's shown because we can't run. Our running stats are probably one of the worst this season because we can't play that heavy metal football. We need, and anyone that does come in has to be able to start straight away. None of this, we need 4 or 5 months with them. If they're coming in January, they need to be world stars, world beaters, and be able to come in and single-handedly start and taking this mantle, because we can't sit around waiting for another a Fabio Carvalho, if he a similar player coming in, and waiting for them to get up to our speed. We need someone now who can come in, do the job, and get it done. And that way, then we move forward. But we need to upgrade our squad drastically. You see it when we don't start Thiago. The drop off for creativity is unbelievable in our squad, because we've got no one else who can do it as good as what he can, and we've got nothing else. So we need to upgrade the squad. That's down to Klopp. That's down to him to ensure that we get these players. FSG needs to start thinking, right, well, we need to invest some money into the team, not revamping the stadiums. Great, that's great. Fans love that, but we also want to see players on the pitch. We want to see money spent on the pitch, not in the stadium. We want it on the pitch.
So we've gone from heavy metal to kind of soft rock this season, right? That's what it kind of feels like, especially with our running stats and our style of play. And unfortunately, I think the amount of minutes that these these starters have played is leading down to these breakdowns, and just, I don't think it's in the legs for them to put that effort in, week out, 3 times a week in certain weeks. And I think they're just, too old for it. And definitely, Kev, I agree with you there that we need to bring in young legs. And on top of young legs, perhaps young legs who are either experienced already in the Premier League, or at least in a league that matches kind of the Premier League, either La Liga or Serie A, somewhere top level that can just come in and contribute right away. Because if not, as we see where we are on the table there, top 4 is a risk this season. How are you guys feeling confident-wise as far as us finishing top 4, unless drastic moves are made there in January? Tino?
Yeah. Honestly, when we had the slip up, was it not last season, the season before, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're never going to get top 4. With injuries screwed us." I was quietly confident. I did a joint piece on This Is Anfield at the time and said, "We're going to finish third. I'm confident in this." As much as our performances hasn't been great, I was confident at the time. Now that confidence has just gone out the window. I believe in Klopp. I believe in what he can do, but he's left it too late for me. Getting top 4 is for me, and I said it at the time previously, not getting top 4 will drastically impact Klopp's legacy at Liverpool Football Club. Not massively, not like he's now trash and he shouldn't be viewed as a legend of the club, but him not getting top 4 really does have a big impact on his legacy and what he's achieved at Liverpool. It's a stain on his record. And I think that is partly his fault, yes. And it's just, it's incredibly frustrating when you've got a team gradually getting older and the players aren't good enough. It's just it's very, very frustrating. We need to change something. We definitely do need to change something.